Top stories from around the island. To the point. Without the fluff. Puerto Rico headline news. Please subscribe and don't forget to hit the bell notification.
Hello and welcome to Puerto Rico Headline News for April 17th, 2020. This is your afternoon edition of this channel. I also provide a morning edition or a morning video that strictly deals with the COVID-19 updates that are provided by the Department of Health. We review those numbers. We also discuss the latest figures that are provided on the COVID-19 information portal that's also provided by the Department of Health, and we cover any other information related to the coronavirus. Now, the afternoon edition will cover everything outside of the coronavirus, typically all the top stories or some of the top stories that will affect us a great deal. So I scour the news and see what top stories will be of interest to my subscribers. Now, the reason I created this channel is there is a huge need for an English-based news source here in Puerto Rico. There's none at the moment. So many of our friends here in Puerto Rico that have moved here, including ourselves, sometimes find it hard to find any news in English, and then we're kind of left out of the loop. So my idea behind this was to help my friends initially to find or know about the latest stories released in Puerto Rico that would have an effect on them. And that's how this channel got started. So let's go ahead and kick off this first edition of this afternoon program. And let's do that by covering some economic news that is going to affect us here in Puerto Rico. As a result of the coronavirus outbreak, the Governor Juan Vasquez went ahead and created a economic task force. Part of the economic task force has the responsibility of monitoring the effects that the coronavirus and the lockdown have on the people of Puerto Rico. And this article just was released yesterday, provided by the Weekly Journal, which is powered, interestingly, by El Vocero, a newspaper here in Puerto Rico. So it's saying here, this is Manuel Laboy, part of the economic task force here from the, he's the Secretary of the Economic Development and Commerce for Puerto Rico. And essentially, if we look at the headline here, he's thinking it's already time to reopen the Puerto Rico economy little by little. And he mentioned some industries here that are looking forward to reopening, and that's, of course, tourism, construction, real estate, and other professional services that should start to reopen. So this is the recommendation that he's making here. Now, so far, this is some staggering information here, and it says, one estimate forecasts that the economic losses to Puerto Rico due to the COVID-19 crisis, which includes the lockdown and curfew for at least 6 weeks, could reach $10 billion here on the island. So that's a really huge number, and certainly it's concerning to this economic task force. And as it says here, the island is in its 5th week of the lockdown and the curfew. As of right now, the lockdown was extended and it should be running up until Sunday, May 3rd. So in this regard, the article continues to mention that Laboy explained that the economy must be open little by little with the necessary controls in place to protect people's lives and ensure that coronavirus does not continue to spread on the island. So certainly it's going to be a lot of work to try to balance things between opening up the economy, which is very important as well, but at the same time, doing that balancing act with keeping people safe at the same time. So definitely it's going to take some work to have some kind of plan that can be followed, can be released to the people here in Puerto Rico, something that they can easily understand and follow and put into practice so that the economy can be reopened. And as he said, little by little. And in the same newspaper, the weekly journal, online newspaper, it also mentions about the demand for small business stimulus aid surges, and it's specific to Puerto Rico. So we see here that the first week of April, when the newly created Paycheck Protection Program, PPP, went into effect, more than 400 small businesses in Puerto Rico initially applied for the U.S. Small Business Administration or SBA program. In the second week, the number had skyrocketed to several thousand around the island. And it's interesting here, it's good to know several of these banks that are here in Puerto Rico. For example, it continues to say Banco Popular, the island's main financial institution, provides a snapshot of the phenomenon, first receiving several hundred applications, and now that number has jumped to some 4,000. The bank initially released $2.6 million in the PPP forgivable loans during the first few days after the program went into effect. So this is all part of the stimulus aid that was provided by the government of the United States for Puerto Rico and for its territories. And it mentions here the PPP money is running out very fast, and this is the challenge that Puerto Rico has. Interested businesses need to be given quick access so they can take advantage of the benefit quickly. It is estimated that a third of the money is still available. So if you are a Puerto Rico business, you need to take, well, this stimulus aid is still available as of yesterday, but it's running out quick. In Puerto Rico, 10 financial institutions can issue these type of loans, including Banco Popular, First Bank, and Oriental Bank, according to the SBA. The deadline for applying for this PPP aid is June 30th. Don't wait until June 30th. This money does run out rather fast. So I definitely jump on this as soon as possible. So this is just a little bit of information on some of the stimulus aid that is available here in Puerto Rico. And just to wrap up this first afternoon edition of Puerto Rico Headline News, I thought it interesting to include this article here, provided by El Nuevo Dia, released today, Friday, April 17th. And it's mentioning how Burger King is going to allow people to do a mini shopping trip or a convenience type of purchase through their drive-through. What does this involve? Well, you're going to be able to go to Burger King, use their drive-through service, buy milk, bread, eggs, and other essential items. So this will save you a trip from having to go to maybe the supermarket, Econo, Atio, Cash and Care, whatever supermarket, having to wait, make a line, and possibly be exposed to people. Here, you'll be able to drive up, grab a burger, order some milk, some eggs, some bread, and head on home. So this is a neat service that Burger King's providing. Certainly, it's useful and one that I look forward to using as well. So again, this is our first afternoon edition of this type of reporting that I hope to continue. And thanks again for watching. If you haven't subscribed to this channel, please do so, like the video, and share this content. Again, thanks for watching. This is Puerto Rico Headline News.